All right, we are back. It is episode, holy smokes, 23 of Paper and Plastic. I'm your host, Pop and Sloth, and I'm joined by my good friend, Dr. Ron's Crypt Keeper, Plagus. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. I got the wrestling shirt on today.
Oh, it's so
Uh
good.
yeah. Um so I kind of went with my wrestler name there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, it's my understanding you did a little exploring over the weekend as well, a little spelunking, it sounded like.
Oh yeah. Yes, I did.
Uh, things been going well generally, though, for you? You been having a good week?
Yeah. Yeah, last week, the later part of the week was a crazy just an absolutely crazy week for comics for me. I got to go to there's a seller in town that has a booth at an antique store
Mhm.
and with a massive it's actually one of we call them honey holes. It's one of
Mhm.
my honey hole spots. I got to go to that guy's storage unit and kind of see the stuff that he doesn't put in the booth, which is a lot of very high value stuff. And so I'm getting my hands on that collection for a really
Mhm.
fair price, as well as kind of helping him sell some of it because he wants to get out of comics.
Mhm.
And then had a great visit at the new local comic shop, Yeah Comics. And then I had an even greater visit at Ron's, which we'll jump into a little bit later in the show.
I'm actually kind of curious. So, when you say higher valued books and in like a collection, are you talking books that are like 20 to 40 bucks, or are we talking 80 to
Oh
100
man.
or higher than
So
that?
Uh, yeah, when I talk higher value, I'm talking like pretty much anything over $10.
Okay.
Key books, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Essentially like so this guy has a booth and I'd say he has so by a booth I mean he rents out a portion of this antique store and that's kind of like his store.
Mhm.
I'd say he probably has about 5,000 books there and they are all essentially $2 books, $2.50. Um, and so when you got a guy that's got a selection like that, but it's all $2.50, of course, he's had some books slip through the cracks. One of my better finds at his booth was a early Archie or Sonic the Hedgehog Archie
Hmm.
series, which is like basically his first series in comics.
Mhm.
And I found a first appearance of Knuckles in there. Yeah, first
Oh,
appearance of Knuckles. The time I
okay.
found it, it was like about $100 to $150 book.
Hmm.
This was right around the time one of the movies was coming out, so um, it was kind of hot. It was kind of a hot book at the time.
Mhm.
Um, but he's pretty on to his key stuff. But he when I went to his storage unit, he had some pretty amazing stuff. He had an amazing Spider-Man 3 and an amazing Spider-Man 4, the volume 1 in a 7.5 and an 8.0, like very high grade for Silver Age.
Oh,
Um,
well,
I don't know what those books are valued at, but easily in the thousands. So he had some cool stuff. He had a Iron Man 50, or I'm sorry, Tales of Suspense 50,
hmm.
first appearance of the Mandarin in a
Oh, yeah.
8.5. So I'm kind of doing some of this work for him
Mm.
to hopefully acquire that book because Mandarin is one of my favorite villains, my favorite Iron Man villain, but one of my favorite villains. So, yeah, good stuff. Um,
I was gonna
yeah,
say we got a couple folks saying hi in the chat.
yes.
Chemdog, Samrock, uh, Dave. obviously heard there's a collection out there that needs to be purchased, so he's
Yeah.
he heard.
So, yeah, in regards to that, Dave, he'd already kind of made arrangements for the bulk of it to go to the new local shop here, Yeah Comics. My buddy Oren, but he's gonna kind of pay a base price for the bulk, and so he was hoping to maybe get a little extra for some of his key collection, um, and we're accomplishing that for him. So yeah, it's been good. It's been fun.
And looks like our good friend Nine Panels here. Hey, bud.
Yes,
Uh,
he's well. Actually, both
mhm,
him and Dave just had a very fun weekend up in North Carolina at Heroes
mhm.
Con, which is an incredible comic book convention. So looking forward to the content that will be coming from that from both of those guys.
And I think we got to dive right into your little journey over the weekend here. Uh, you sent me a couple pictures, and when I saw
Yeah,
this one, I was like, okay, so we're going full Raiders of the Lost Ark here. Uh,
yeah. So if you want, you can go through the photos, as well as share my reel, because Instagram there's a new app that coincides with Instagram called Edits, and man, it's as user friendly as the Instagram app is for making reels. Oh, so that's a sheet of uh what are the Marvel cards called?
oh, like the Tops Upper Deck or
Yeah,
Masterpieces
90s.
or something.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
a sheet of uncut cards there. And they actually had like 50 of those. I don't know if those are anything special, but they certainly seemed cool. And they're definitely like original sheets. I work in the print
Mhm.
industry, so I know what those look like, and that's them.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. You sent. Yeah. Here, let me find your reel real quick.
Unfortunately, a lot of those sheets were destroyed, like crunched. Yeah, it's a little discouraging, the condition of a lot of stuff down there,
Mhm.
because it's just a total just unmanaged dump of stuff. But yeah, the Edits app is like even more user friendly than the Instagram Reels uh portion of things, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you're
Yeah,
just
I
doing a
mean it's
little bit digging around.
yeah, we spent about 5 hours down there. Just yeah, crazy finds. I mean, all these newsstand copies of the first appearance of White Vision. Uh yeah, this oh, what happened?
Oh,
Stack of first appearance of Kiss in comics, whole bunch of Dave Stevens. So this is the funnest part right here. And this is sped up like double speed here.
jeez Louise, man.
Yeah.
It really is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
So when Imperial Comics saw this, even he was like, "Okay, I think that's possibly more than what I've got." So that right there is
Mhm.
a French Hulk 180 and 181.
Wow.
So while we were down there and when we'd found that, I actually called upstairs to my buddy who runs the shop, and I was
Mhm.
like, "We just found a Hulk 181," and he was like, "No way!" And I'm like, "Yes way, it's the French version." But yeah, still really cool.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Oh, oh, yeah, your little stack here.
yeah. So we can pause on that because I'll
Yeah.
show some of these books off, and most people probably already saw the haul. So yeah, a lot of fun. Um, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know what to say. Um, You got to bring a headlamp. There's not
Mhm.
much for light down there. I wore a mask because Ozzy was down there for maybe 10 minutes and was already starting to cough.
Yeah.
Great place to catch black lung if you're interested. Shave a few years off your life. I actually needed to leave a little bit before him, and I truly was worried about leaving him down there by himself. uh,
Zimman was just wondering, where is this place at?
yeah, so this is the basement of my local LCS. This is the comic shop that's been around for 60 years here in my hometown. Um, I knock them a lot on their um, weekly comics because they don't have the greatest um, process of providing those. But as far as back issues go, you know, everything else, it's a wonderful, wonderful place. I by no means do I, you know, am I knocking them with ill intent. I love my LCS. I do everything I can to play any kind of role that I can. I'm actually selling some higher end slabs for them because they don't really move and they're not in tune with
Mm,
um like the online market or anything like that. So
mm,
yeah, I love my local shop, and for that reason they let me down in their basement. It's
mm,
a privilege that they don't just hand out to everybody.
mm,
Unfortunately, it's causing some jealousy locally, and I got at least one hater out there. So
mhm.
shout out to him.
Yeah.
Maybe buy more comics, and they might let you down there.
Mhm, mhm. It's true. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
so we want to see what you picked up, my friend.
okay, so I'll show off some of what I got down there. Um, I didn't go crazy. About a year ago. Oh
Yeah.
wow. Oh, sorry, Dave distracted me.
Oh.
Um, anyways, I don't need to go into that story. I got a great
Mm,
collected edition of Batman versus Predator by Dave Gibbons, the legendary Dave Gibbons, and I believe this would probably be like the first time they did a collected edition of this. Yeah, 1993. Really cool. Sometimes these Dark Horse collected editions,
mm,
especially like the earlier ones, can have some value. That one really didn't, but it's
mhm,
awesome. To my surprise, and I don't know why, but I found some Akira down there,
mhm.
which is awesome because very slowly piecing together the single issue of that run.
So
I've got the graphic novels, but
I
these.
I didn't realize this, but my local shop has a ton of these single issues.
Oh, really?
Like a ton
Man,
of
if
them.
they're affordable, jump on them. I mean,
I was gonna
yeah,
say if there's any that you're like, maybe I'll send you a little photo or something tomorrow in case you need
yeah.
any
I'll
of those
I'll
ones.
send you a list of what I need, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Mhm.
crazy because I'll be going through a box and I'll be finding like old back issues. Like one I remember in particular, I was going through and I found Secret Wars #8, kind of like that classic. Oh, I got one over here. Um,
Just casually. Just
purchase
casual.
purchase from West Coast Day vendors. But yeah, so I found one of these 1984, right? And then in that box, I find this, which is a
Okay.
modern book,
Yeah.
Annihilation Source, but
Yeah.
it's an awesome Arthur Adams cover.
Yeah.
Which man, when he hits, he really hits.
Damn.
Another issue I found in my Marvel team up run that I'm really close to completing, number 53. The key significance in this book is this was the first time. John Byrne illustrated the X-Men, I think, and
Oh.
he's, had a very famous run on Uncanny X-Men. Um, Eric from Nine Panel will really enjoy these next two pickups. I got issue number 7 of Elektra Assassin and issue number 5,
Mm-hmm.
which completes my run of that in single issues.
Dope.
Um, I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Hey Zim,
Uh,
thank you for that. Not sure what that's in reference to, but I'll take it. Yeah, Sankowitz, Bill
Sinkowitz.
Sienkiewicz, Sankowitz.
Sinkowitz.
Um, yeah. um, some more. I found some more Kabuki. I pick these up anytime I can find them.
Of
I love
course.
David Mack.
Of
He's
course.
just one of my favorite creators
Mm-hmm.
of all time, and
Mm-hmm.
possibly we're related. So that's even.
Gotta get that ancestry
We're not.
DNA. No.
Yeah, maybe we are. I don't know. I haven't delved too deep into that, but probably not. But it's a boy can dream.
Yeah, boy.
I found issue 10 of Grendel Warchild, the final issue of this
Mm.
series, a series I really enjoyed, a series I own all the issues to. So why would I pick up a second one? Because it's signed by the
There you
secondary
go.
artist. First and foremost, there's Matt Wagner, who created Grendel,
Mhm.
Pat McEwen, who's
Mhm.
kind of like a backup artist on that book. So I can't turn down a good signature. Another Marvel team up, first appearance of Captain Britain, and yeah, this goes forever. Jeez. Um, Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man, number 64, first appearance of Cloak and Dagger.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah,
Dope.
that's a fun one.
I didn't know that's where their first appearance was.
Yeah, yeah. Star Wars number 40 in a newsstand, which is the first appearance of Rogue Squadron in comics.
Yep. Yep.
Um, Firestorm Volume 1, Issue 1, first appearance of
Ooh,
Firestorm.
damn.
And then the last of books I have physically in my possession at the moment.
Mhm.
Dark Knight Returns, Issue 1,
Mm.
first printing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, great series, classic series.
Mhm.
I think I had the second printing, so I picked that up. So I sent you a boomerang of another book I picked up, but currently
Mm.
don't have in my possession for one reason. It's my book. I own it. I wish I had it here at the moment to show off. Um,
Pulling it up.
so yeah. So while I
There you
was
go.
down there, I found this issue of Batman 234. First Silver Age appearance of Two Face, I believe.
Holy.
And yeah, it's autographed by Neil Adams. So
Crazy.
I was downstairs. I had pulled this book. It was still in its bag and board, and I had a little station set up where I had a box that
Hmm.
I was kind of putting books into, and I was going through it. I was going through all the books I'd pulled, and my buddy who runs the shop had come down,
Hmm.
and I'm standing there and I'm kind of showing him some of my gets, and this was one of them. And as I'm showing it to him, I think to myself, I should pull it out and check the inside first page for an autograph. And obviously I'm not thinking there's actually going to be there one, but it's a good habit to be in, to check your books for autographs, especially Silver Age, Bronze Age, because in this time period, they weren't signing the covers as much. They were signing the interior first
Mhm.
page.
Mhm.
And as he's standing there over my shoulder, he doesn't know what I'm doing. You know,
Mhm.
I didn't tell him I was gonna look at it for an autograph. I just thought to myself, and so I'm pulling it out of the bag, and I open it up, and I immediately shut it. And I'm like, I screamed, dude. I screamed, and I didn't like shut it
Yeah.
fast because I didn't want him to see.
Yeah.
Um, I just couldn't like I couldn't believe what had just happened.
Yeah. Of
I was
course.
screaming. Ozzy was like in another room, so started screaming for Ozzy because
Yeah.
I knew he would really enjoy this. And yeah, my buddy was like, "What was that?" And I'm like, I open it up and I show him. He's like, "Is that an autograph?" I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah, this is a classic Neil Adams cover. I mean,
Damn.
one notably one of his many classic
Mhm.
covers, but this is one definitely up there. Man, as a as a big fan of Green Lantern, there's like two artists
Mhm.
autographs that I would desire more than anything other than maybe Ron Lim, who I already have, and that's Gil Kane, and even more than that, it would be Neil Adams. Not an autograph that I even really. I mean, he's passed, so rest in peace to the legend. Um, Not an autograph that I really even had on my radar. Of course, at any moment in time, I can go on eBay and seek that out. But I don't have to do that. I found
Mhm.
one while hunting, and I honestly can't believe it. That's probably my greatest find ever. It didn't come easy. It was in a batch of books that were shoved under
Mhm.
a desk that were covered up by a bunch of boxes, and like noticed this area seemed a little like hidden, so I was like, I'm jumping in here. And yeah, I pulled that out, and um, that's probably my favorite book in my entire collection now.
Hell yeah,
Um,
dude.
so Joe, the owner of Ron's, he's been running Ron's for the last 40 years.
Mm.
Prior to that, he'd worked there for 15, bought the business from Ron,
Mm.
and is now passing the business off to my buddy Parker. His request was, "It's yours. You know, here's what we'll take for it. Very good price." Like I said, I've done a lot of selling for them recently, so
Mm.
they've been giving me good deals. But he was like, "Could you just leave it? Cause it if you take it today, cause we called him."
Mm.
If you take it today, I don't get to see it and I don't get to touch it. And he's like, and I'd like to at least see it and touch it. He's like,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
you know, he knows his comic books. He
Mhm.
knows Neil Adams, obviously. So he was like, yeah, I'd just like to see it. You know, before it leaves my shop forever. So I was more than happy to do that for him. Very cool. Um, yeah, just I was shaking for hours. I've been on a high ever since. Just the coolest thing. Kind of funny because that Friday, the day before we went down to the basement, I actually had sold a big book for them, uh, and I got a little bit of credit, and I was able to pick up another big book.
Mhm.
And kind of crazy that that one completely overshadows what I got, but also very happy to have this, and
Mhm.
um, also Neil Adams. Uh, this
Oh,
bad boy,
come on.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Um,
Beautiful.
I estimate it's very high grade. I would estimate it to be better than a 7.0. Um,
Wow.
we pro. I know it doesn't have an autograph in it. Um,
Already checked.
yeah, because I read it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so
Damn.
that was a pickup prior to uh,
That's so dope.
yeah. So there's more. I also got to show some love to the other. Um, local comic shop, Yeah Comics.
Mhm.
Had some really nice pickups from him. Uh, did I show these off last week?
Maybe.
I don't know if I did or not. So I picked up some Vengeance.
Oh,
Do you recall me
yeah.
showing these off?
I don't believe so. No.
So he had issue 3, issue 2,
Yeah.
great Del Auto covers, and then
Yeah.
the big one, issue 1, which is the first appearance of America Chavez.
Oh, that's really sick. Okay, I didn't know that was a
So
book.
really cool there.
Cool.
I also picked up Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this is the first appearance of Rat King.
Okay.
I actually made a post with that book. And then a few weeks back, maybe a month or so back, I picked up issue 1 of um, Ninja Turtle run that Simon Bisley did covers for.
Mm.
I don't know if he did the interiors. I didn't read it. Well, I got issue 1 of and it's a 4-part series.
Hmm.
And they had. Hold on one second.
Oh, okay. I'm holding on.
Oh yeah, Simon Bisley did do. He did. Yeah, he did do
Oh,
these books. Okay, so
here you go.
it's called Body Count. Um,
Mm.
and I got issue 4,
Nice.
3, and 2. So this was an image run of Ninja Turtles, which is really cool.
Oh, nice.
So completed that. And then lastly, my secondary LCS for weekly comics.
Hmm.
Good old comics place up in Bellingham. Oh, I had more. Shoot. Oh, there they are. Before we go into comics place, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're a good brother.
So yeah, comics. They had two more mystery packs of the
Mm.
Battle Beast.
Oh
So I
yeah. Okay.
couldn't help myself. Um,
Jeez.
so I pulled the 1 in 25.
Nice.
I forget the artist on this one. Um, really great cover though.
Yeah.
And then this was really awesome because I had an issue 2 coming from the comics place, but
Hmm.
I'd got the cover A from
Hmm.
Ron's, and then I
Yeah.
gave it to somebody who wasn't able. They didn't order enough.
Hmm.
But Ron's opens at 10
Hmm.
on Wednesday.
Hmm.
By 11 o'clock, someone was in my local Facebook group
Hmm.
asking if anybody had an extra copy of 2.
Yeah.
Within 1 hour, they sold out of Battle Beast number 2.
Yeah. Of
So
course.
I'm just like, again, another fumble, right? They should have ordered 20 copies. So I had gotten one and I reached out to that person. I said, hey, just let me read it because I really want to read it and it's yours. We met up at Yeah Comics and that's when I gave him the book and I bought that. And I pulled the, what's it called?
Yeah. The
The
ultra rare,
ultra rare
super. Yeah.
advanced edition. Yeah.
I would like to
So
remind everyone that when I pulled my blind bag, I got the A cover. So
uh,
let's not
I've
forget.
got I've got a really great. So I think I have a 1 in 10. I'll put that in your box.
I won't say no. I won't say no to a 1 in 10. Yeah.
All right. So sorry
Yeah.
this is taking so long. I had a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
to
no,
show
you're
off,
good.
and
Like
hopefully
I've got
all
like
you
three
comic
books, so
nerds. Okay. All right. So lastly, the comics place in Bellingham.
hmm.
I picked this up.
uh I was gonna grab that. I should have grabbed it. I should have grabbed it last week.
It's
It's the
pretty
first
great,
appearance
dude.
in it's the first appearance in there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of a new character, yeah.
Dude, the interiors are
Oh, yeah,
very
man.
good.
I'm gonna have to see if I can get me a copy tomorrow. Shoot.
Yeah, you should.
I fumbled it.
Um, yeah, really, really like that. Um, I think it's a ratio. I think it's a 1 in 25 Battle Beast number 2. So
Oh.
if you need a copy of two, I got you on one of those.
No,
And then
I've got an issue too.
okay.
Yeah.
Um and then Absolute Flash. This is also a ratio.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It's got kind of like some, Stan Sakai type
Hmm.
illustration cartoony elements to it. Um and this is getting quite good. Really enjoying Absolute Flash. I'm happy it picked up. And then last but not least, um, we will jump a
Mm.
little more into this, but this is part one of Stan Sakai's two-issue series called Tobu. It's actually issue 4 of 5 of 10,000 Plums, but this starts Tobu, which we'll segue into after we see your gets.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll make mine are pretty quick here. All modern stuff. I didn't get a chance to go hunting for anything interesting. If you guys remember, I am moving here in like a week, so the budget is big old zero. So, but I still got a couple modern books. Um, so I'm just going to show a couple cool covers I enjoyed. The first one, we got that
Ooh.
crypto.
Oh yeah.
I believe this is the Dustin Nugan. I don't
Oh,
know how to pronounce
Nigun.
it.
Yeah.
Nigun. Yeah, yeah. His cover, which is wonderful. Picked up a copy of the new Emma Frost, and
Mm.
she's looking bad.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
love that. Love a little bit of that. Uh, Jeff the Land Shark. I know you're pretty indifferent about Jeff, but
Yeah.
I love the little guy. Um, I think we've talked a little bit about Exquisite Corpses,
Oh yeah.
uh, but that's just a really cool cover.
Yeah.
So really stoked with that one. And then I don't know if we ever talked about this one when the news about it came out, but I still was really excited about it. And that was the Stephen Colbert Superman
Oh.
variant there.
Yeah, I do remember that actually. I
Stephen
think we
Colbert.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, I know I sent you. I would have sent you the video. I don't know if we talked about it on the show, but yeah, there's a fun Stephen Colbert. I don't know. I like to collect a lot of the random celebrity.
Yeah.
I call them cameos in comics.
Hmm.
Uh,
There's
whether
a
they're
Marvel team up from Volume 1
Mhm.
where they team up with the cast of SNL.
Oh yeah, no, they've I think the Hellfire Gala stuff usually has a couple cameos in there.
Oh
I
wow.
think one I think the first one had Kevin Feige and like Run the Jewels in there or something.
Oh,
Like,
that's cool.
yeah. There's been a couple random anyways, like even like if it's a celebrity writing the book, I still consider that like a cameo, kind of
Sure.
whatever. Uh so I like to collect those when I see them. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's all from me. Nothing too exciting. Do you want me to share this little clip we had
Yeah,
prepared?
so Fingers actually asked about the rabbit character. So yeah, that's Usagi Yojimbo, and yeah, he was featured in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. I have the figure from the cartoon somewhere,
Mhm.
but um, yeah, Stan Sakai, who created the character, and Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird were kind of putting out their stuff around the same time. Well, actually, in '84, which is Usagi came out in Albedo, number 2, which I think came out in '84, and then of course Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1 came out in '84, um, and I think so. Stan had sent Kevin Eastman an illustration of the turtles with Usagi, and I can't remember what book that is. I want to say it was uh, a one shot like solo title
Mm.
Leonardo.
Mm.
And they actually featured the illustration in the book, which he speaks about in his interview with Dave.
Mm.
That if he'd have known that they were going to do that, he would have done a better illustration,
Mhm.
which I think is just kind of funny, and that's the way things go. Yeah, Donatello, that's right. Um, but anyways, I wanted to touch on this book for anyone who's not on to the series. Um, I think like fingers and toes. This would be a great book for you to pick up and jump into if you're curious. It's a like I said, it's a two-part storyline that he spoke about in his interview with Dave, and it's a very personal story to him. And I asked Dave if we could play a clip of the interview talking about this. So we're gonna go ahead and play that, and hopefully somebody who's not on Usagi will pick up an issue.
All right. So hopefully this is, I got it. I think you said 48, 30, 48,
48,
46.
46.
We'll get there.
Come
Yeah.
across it called Dodo Dango. And she called up to, do you want this? I said, I never heard of it, so sure.
I love that. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that. Speaking of current storyline, so right now, 10,000 Plums issue number 4 is released on, let me see, the 18th of June. But that is the first
Yep.
part.
I already got copies of it.
There we go. And that's the first part of a storyline called Tabo, correct?
Correct.
So I know that's a very personal story
Mhm.
for you. Do you want to take us through just a little bit of what it's
Yeah.
inspired in?
We were in Portugal. This is Judy, Emmy, and myself were in Portugal in March of last year.
Mhm.
And we got word that my younger brother, Kenneth, was just diagnosed with fourth stage cancer.
Mm.
And this had come on very suddenly. So as soon as we got back, we went over to Hawaii. And the doctors gave him up to 6 months to live. And he actually died about 3 months later, 3 months after he was diagnosed.
Yeah.
And a month after he passed away, I came up with a story called Tabo, and his middle name is Tadashi, and his nickname for that was Tabo. My middle name is Masahiko, and I was Mabo.
Oh.
But that was our parents would call us that. But anyway, so just thinking about that spurred me to do a story about not about him, but inspired by him.
Yeah.
Kenneth was born very prematurely. He was born 1 pound 6 ounces, so he was mentally handicapped. But he went through high school. He went to the same high school I went. He had a job. He worked at McDonald's for more than 45 years.
Wow.
And he traveled, went to the mainland with groups, and so he also ran in I think 6 Honolulu marathons, and he got the special trophy for most inspirational runner. So he had a very fulfilling life.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and so after his memorial service, I just sat down and started writing this story about Tabo, and it came up to a 2-parter, and it's about Tabo, who's a character, and
So we'll pause there
Tabo knows he's dying.
because yeah, so he continues to kind of describe the story, and it's pretty in tune with what you're gonna read. So I'd hopefully like somebody to, if this inspires one person to go pick this book up, then like I said earlier, mission accomplished. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Stan is one of the great creators out there. Usagi is his creation through and through. And man, that interview, uh, I mean, what a timeless piece of content that is right there. I don't know how many times I've watched that interview. I love Dave, And I love Stan Sakai. So I also encourage you guys to to go watch that if you haven't. I know a lot of fellow West Coast Avengers are in here, but yeah, go run that thing up, man. But read the story. It's good. And it has a lot of meaning. And yeah, just dude. I mean, w- uh, the way he opened up in that interview to Dave, I'm just like in awe, man. I mean, he tells us his middle name. Like we know Stan Sakai's middle name, and not only that, but his nickname that comes from it. Just how cool. I've been plugging that interview every week since it came out, and the streak continues. Great work, Dave. And yeah, I enjoy all Usagi, but just knowing that this story has a special meaning behind it just kind of brings a whole lot more with it. So yeah, anybody who's never read Usagi, please go out, buy this book. It's $5. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah,
And thanks for Dave for letting us play that clip. We appreciate that. I mean, it's
definitely.
just so important to hear the context and hear the story. And I think, I mean, I'm sure maybe you're similar. I'm sure some folks are similar too. But if I hear like someone talking about their project, talking about their art, talking about their stories, whatever they're working on, I am far more likely to like read it, participate in it, experience it, and really enjoy it because you know what it means to the person who created it too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
And I mean, just hearing that, a tragic story, but also, bringing to light what a fulfilling life he had, and you could really hear the emotion in his voice, and
mm,
he even seemed to get a little choked up a few times, and it's just like he's giving us that, he put that in ink and on paper for us, and um
mm.
I mean, it's just so much more more meaningful than our battle beast, which is also fun, but it's just like, we should not sleep on stuff like this.
No, and you're so right. And I feel like that's where comics they just they're just a perfect medium to tell these stories uh for a creator to tell a story, I guess. There's almost like no limits to what kind of story they can tell because you get to use the artwork um in such a meaningful way. Did you ever read Step by Bloody Step?
No.
It came out a couple years ago. It was 4 issues and no dialogue. It was only
Oh, wow.
imagery. Uh, and I mean, like, you just can't do that in any other medium so easily, I guess, so
Sure.
accessibly. Um, so yeah, I mean, Stan's a living legend, and I
Yeah.
think even his artwork, his art style is so unique to him that
Mhm.
comics is like the perfect medium for the storytelling and the artwork to just work perfectly together, I think, in a lot of
Yeah,
these kind of situations.
man, 100%.
Mhm.
That's why I got you here, man, because you can just put it like in a way that I can't.
No, I
But
mean, it's a conversation I have with a lot of people because I think when, I tell someone, "Oh, I'm a comic book collector," there's this assumption that's like, "Oh, he's just gonna, buy Amazing Fantasy number 15 and, whatever," right? Like, that's not what comic books mean to me, right? Like, or
yeah,
to, people, it's so much more. It's these stories, it's the artwork, it's like really like how else can you be an artist in the modern day in a professional environment, like I mean sure you could have a museum art piece, but that's you're not getting paid regularly like some of these comic book artists are, they're
sure.
making a living.
Yeah.
And I mean it's just to be able to support artists, uh so go support your artists, buy from Image and these independent guys who they're doing it, they're
Yeah.
living, they're making their
Oh,
dream happen.
definitely. I have 6 copies coming from the comic place that I plan to just give out to people to force onto people. Because it's, yeah, I mean, Dave does the same thing, you know. He just had an interview with I hope I get her name right, Alice Darrow, who her father is a legend in the industry, and she's just now putting out her first comic book, and she's an incredible illustrator. And you know, Dave's gonna buy several copies of her book, one for him, and then he's gonna, you know, give them out to people. And
Mm.
yeah, I mean, you know, it's like me with the Battle Beast as well. Like, I knew somebody needed it. I had even told my buddy Parker earlier in the day, hey, like, you know, if there's Battle Beast, I want it. But if at some point you guys run out and someone needs it, please feel free to give my copy to that person, because I've got another one coming.
Hmm.
And so, you know, he didn't do that, of course, but luckily I found the person that didn't get one that wanted one, and I got that book to him. We gotta share this stuff with people, you know, and if we have the means to, you know, give some books out. I mean, I'm especially in my town here, I'm all about just generating interest, hype, whatever you want to call it, and getting as many people into the hobby as I can. Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah,
it's called Tramps of the Apocalypse. If you want to hear that interview, it was a really fun interview. And I'm looking forward to her book. I haven't figured out how I'm gonna get one, but I'm gonna get one.
I
So
will
yeah.
say here in Canada, uh, we're experiencing a weird thing where a lot of toy stores and kind of related kind of shops and stuff are closing, but not like ma and pa toy stores or collectible stores or comic book stores or card stores. Like places like the card stores, places that sell like Pokemon cards and like those kind of cards specifically are doing crazy well right now. And I'd argue like comic book stores are doing decently well too, because a lot of them stock cards, but a lot of them have a lot of regular folks who come in.
Yeah.
Uh, but here in Canada, like Toys R Us is closing down a ton of branches, and this is the big box toy store
Yeah.
in the country is closing stuff down, whereas my local comic book store is expanding. Like
Yeah.
they're renting out another space just to do online streaming to sell stuff online. Like
Wow.
so it's a really weird time in this industry, I think, for all sides of it, for collectors,
Yeah.
for the business fronts, and even like the folks like yourself, where you're kind of like a little bit of both, right? Like
Mhm.
it's such a strange time.
Yeah. I see
And I
a
know,
new
oh,
face in the chat. I just wanted to highlight them. Good evening to you as well. It looks like they're maybe from Brooklyn, so that's cool. And I don't recall seeing you before. But if you
but
have
yo yo
been here,
yo,
thanks for coming back. Yeah.
yeah, appreciate it. Um, oh man, I had a train of thought.
Sorry.
Oh
I
no, I know where I was going with it. For like creators like yourself, you do a lot of posting online for your own creative sake, but you also do a little bit of selling and stuff. I do posting for creative sakes, and I think we've both come to this point where our accounts are algorithm locked, for lack of a better term. Um,
something like that. I'm not factoring out that I just put out trash content. I'm not taking that off the table quite yet. I don't want to point the finger at anybody more than myself. You know, we're going into that now.
I mean, we're already at 40,
Yeah.
50 minutes into, yeah.
So, right, holy
Yeah.
cow. Um, you know, when I first started my account, I came up with this recipe of what I wanted to do. This
So
was
So yeah, I was gonna say, when did you start your account on Instagram?
Been about 4 years now. I think July it'll be 4 years.
Okay.
I'd already been into, I've already had a lifetime of collecting comics, collecting figures. Um, it wasn't. I was so at the time. I was so well throughout all those years of having collected, even before my previous hobby. I've been collecting since whatever, 5 years old, whatever it's been.
Mhm.
But then social media comes around, and I've got this other hobby that I'm into, and that had a whole so the graffiti thing, that
Mhm.
had a whole social media aspect to it as well. You do a piece, um you post it on MySpace, then it was, Instagram, whatever. And there was a whole community that came with that. And then as I kind of was getting out of that hobby, um, I'm kind of now looking for this creative outlet.
Mhm.
Um, and I'd always kind of followed nerd accounts, and so I knew that this was a thing, but I'd never really even thought to like become a part of it.
Mm.
And so as I'm phasing out of one hobby and I'm looking for something new, that's when I decide I want to start, photographing my toys, but I want to do it different than the other accounts that I've seen. And that's
Mm.
when the whole pairing the comic with the toy idea kind of came about. And as I'm creating this account, I want to come up with something aesthetically pleasing to me, at least.
Mm.
And so that's when I kind of created this recipe, and I've stuck to it. I've stuck to that recipe for 4 years. So when I see how my accounts kind of hit this ceiling of like, it's not necessarily progressing as far as a
Mm.
following goes. Um, I don't rule out the fact that maybe people are just sick of my shit. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but maybe it is the algorithm. With the reels, I feel like I put those together in a way that is, that would be appealing to people. I
Mm.
think, um, I think they're well edited and well thought out. Um,
Mm.
I have a specific music taste, and so I kind of incorporate that into my videos. And I don't think that, you know, people don't like the music.
Mm.
But I know that they're long. And I
Mm.
know, this whole idea of like, you know, attention spans aren't what they used to be. Nobody wants to sit down and watch a 90-second long reel, or now they've
Mm.
given me the opportunity to make 3-minute reels, and so I'm fully taking advantage of that. And so I know that the algorithm isn't pushing my reels.
Mm.
Those 500 to 1,000 views that I get on those are organic. I definitely share.
Mhm.
I send the reel to Dave, and Dave graciously shares it with his following. And most of the time when he does that, I get a good boost, and I appreciate that. But again, I think his followers should enjoy that just as much as mine and me and my friends. So I know there's an algorithm aspect to the reels. The pictures, I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
Really. Ultimately, I don't care. We've got this great community here of
Mhm.
people who are interacting with us on our show every week, and that's enough to keep me motivated.
Oh yeah. And I think this conversation isn't we're not talking about this in a way of like, oh look, I just want more followers. Look, I can't believe I haven't got any followers. I think it's more so an interesting conversation to have because I mean, at what point do we just say, I don't care? And I think for both of us, it was quite a long time ago. I don't think we've ever really cared too much about the numbers or the views or anything. We're happy just to chat and share what we like to share. And I think it's interesting though, because for people who do want to create stuff and who want to reach that next level, I think I was at that point when I first started doing Instagram posts. A lot of my first handful of posts would get 200 to 300 likes, and I was like, "Holy smokes!" Like I got to keep doing this. And I was putting out 1 or 2 posts a day. I was always
Mm-hmm.
posting in the morning and posting in the evening, and most of the time they both did pretty well. And then at some point it just kind of switched. And I know for yourself and myself, we did a lot of Funko photography for a while.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of that kind of stuff, and I think that drew in a very specific kind of niche following.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I haven't posted a Funko thing in like well over a year.
Yeah.
Uh, so I can imagine a lot of those folks have just kind of tuned my page out, which I totally get.
Oh
But I
yeah.
found
Even completely unfollow. Yeah.
yeah, but that's
Mhm.
the interesting thing is I hit 1,500 followers not quickly, but I know I hit 1,000 within my first few months.
Mhm.
And I started my account in January of 2020. So by March, I was planning on what should I do for my 1,000th follower like post kind of thing.
Yeah.
So for 4 years, I've gained about 500 followers, but I've stayed in this weird pocket of 1,500 that full 3.5 years. I haven't I haven't gone above 1,500 and I haven't gotten below 1,500. And I find that's really weird because you're right, because you would think there'd be a mass unfollowing of people because they're like, oh, you're not posting Funko content.
Mhm.
I'm not seeing that on a hundreds of people scale.
Yeah.
So is it just a lot of dead accounts? Is it a lot of like inactive folks? Because my posts right now, I'm getting like 14 to 30 likes. Again, no problem with me. I don't care if anyone likes it. I like it.
Mhm.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm proud of the stuff I post. But
Yeah.
it's like, is it that? And I've tried different things, different hashtags, not using hashtags, including, tagging locations, all of this kind of stuff. It's like, I just do it more out of curiosity than actually like getting invested in like, oh, well, is this going to be the post that pops off? It's
Yeah.
just like I'm just kind of curious, like what is this algorithm? What is it trying? What does it want me to do?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's the confusing part of it all is like, how do you succeed in these kind of platforms these days? And I saw someone post online recently saying they got to bring back MySpace. There was no
Mhm.
algorithms on MySpace. It was you followed your friends and you saw your friends' stuff. You
Yeah.
know,
That'd be wild.
let's bring back MySpace. Let's get paper
Yeah.
and plastic MySpace pages. Uh,
Yeah.
but it's such a weird, and I'm really curious if anyone watching right now has any input or thoughts or experiences with this, especially if you're an account that has grown past that kind of like 2000 point. I would love to hear how and when you got to that point because I am really curious to know if it was like you got there in the first 6 months and then you've kind of slowly grown, or is it you've been getting it over 4 years and it's been growing.
Yeah.
um Zim, man, I would actually love to have my MySpace back. It was so much better than Facebook.
Yeah.
I think we'd all agree.
Um, I will say that at no point did I ever experience like a boost.
Mm,
Like you said, you'd got to 1,000 fairly quickly.
yeah.
It was always a very slow um, progression for me. Like I
Mm,
want to say it probably took me like a year and a half to get to 1,000.
mm,
And then yeah, the growth since then has been really slow. But there was a point when I first started posting reels, and I think the reason for this was two things. I think reels were fairly new at the time, and so I felt like Instagram was kind of giving probably most people a push
Yeah.
on those, but they were also a lot shorter because I was just doing like, you know, my new comic book day haul and showing me flipping through the books. But those reels were doing like, you know, 5,000 to 10,000
Mm.
views. And then once I started getting more creative with them and kind of doing the full experience hunt reels,
Mhm.
that's when I saw a dip in the viewers. Um, unless of course I made something that got a lot of shares basically. And that always helps. So usually if I can break like 1,000, I'm like really
Mm.
happy about that. Now I think the number's dropping. If I can break 500, that makes me happy. But still the analytics will tell you like average view time,
Mhm.
and it's always like 12 seconds, 13 seconds. And I'm just like, damn, man, like you didn't even get past the intro of like what this reel is, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's such an interesting thing. And luckily for me, it's still very fun. I still
Mhm.
enjoy doing it.
Mhm.
Um I've kind of slowed down with the pairings, just because all of my figures are boxed up, and so it's like
Mhm.
I come across the cover that I want to do and I'm like, oh man, I gotta dig out these figures. Like now I'm good. So really when I do a post now, it's because I got a new figure, you know. So
Mhm.
it's a little few and far between right now. But as far as the reels go, I love doing them. um I love the extension of time that they allow.
Mhm.
And I just made a TikTok. I'm gonna dabble in that and
Oh,
see how those are as far as
yeah.
putting reels together. I've kind of just uploaded some of my all ones that I've already done.
Mhm.
But I'm curious to see what that app is like as far as doing hunt reels because I see they allow up to 10 minutes. So, yeah, they'll never be pushing me. That's for sure. But yeah, and you know, I think it's a natural progression as far as content
Mhm.
that you and I are putting out. You know, now we're
Mhm.
doing this.
Mhm.
I'd love to incorporate some more maybe pre-recorded content in the future
Yeah.
and just keep going with it. It's fun. It's fun to just participate in all aspects of the hobby, you know,
Mhm.
and put yourself out there and saying, you know, this is what I like and this is why I like it, you know.
Yeah.
And again, kind of like with the Usagi book, if I could get one person to read that, you know, again, mission accomplished. That makes me really happy.
No, exactly. That's and I think even when we were starting this channel, the idea was if we had just one person tune in, we would be stoked.
Yeah,
And
we've
and you know,
consistently had a good handful of people.
yeah, and it's like the same like handful of guys showing up every week, and it's
Yeah.
just oh man, it warms my heart.
And we're
It
gradually getting more and more regulars, which is, you know, that's really encouraging. You know, JSS Brooklyn, um, you know,
yeah.
hopefully they'll be back. And they're
Well,
giving
yeah,
us some great advice here. So,
yeah, I actually wanted to address this. JSS Brooklyn saying, if I may, let me suggest cross community discussions. Join up on the Sunday morning hangover show or a few others. I moderate a dozen of channels and help them grow. Glad to help. Derek can vouch. Uh, by the way,
wow.
great office backgrounds. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of videos. So I'll definitely Sunday morning hangover show. Is that with Hall Yeah Comics? Let me
That's the
know.
thing.
I've been in there a few times.
For me, especially because I came from a completely different like subgenre of Instagram than the one we're currently operating within. Like I don't know any of these people,
Yeah.
and so every time I hear, I'm like, oh, I gotta look this person up. I saw that the Comic Underground were doing their little awards, the undies, I think they were called or something.
Yeah.
Uh, And so I wanted to vote because I clicked on it, I saw like a couple people I recognized. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, I want to vote for A1 Comics is on there, who we
Yeah,
just
he
spoke
had
to.
2 nominations, which
Yeah.
reminds me, there's another award show, the Comic Book Community Awards,
Mm.
and they're just now announcing everybody that's been nominated, and we're on that list.
We
Yeah,
are?
yeah.
I had
We're
no idea
not
about this.
officially in a category, so I think initially they just get people to suggest
Mm.
channels, and then they'll break down like 4 channels per category, and of course we'll probably be up if we make it. We'll probably
Wow.
be in like the best new channel category or something, and they do it based on subscribers as well. So we would be
Mm.
like best new channel under 500 subs type of
Yeah.
thing.
Because we're closing in on 100 though. From my understanding, I'm checking right,
We
94
are.
subscribers. If
Yeah,
there's 6 people out there watching right now and you're not subscribed, you could be lucky 100.
yeah,
Just saying. Just
that'd be
saying.
great.
We should take a minute though before we get too lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
We're at that 1 hour mark, and we we wouldn't be doing this show if it wasn't for a special somebody. Uh,
Yes.
and that's our good friend Imperial Comics.
Yep.
So first and foremost, follow him on Instagram because you'd be silly not to. My man does I think nightly story claims. We're looking at ones from just 1 hour ago. So you got anything you see here, you might have a chance to pick up.
Ooh,
Uh,
that's a
but
great one.
Imperial Comics has been a supporter since literally day one. He's been keeping the lights on in this show. The only reason we're doing it is because he supports us. So we really encourage you guys to check out his stuff. He's got a ton, and I literally mean a ton of great stuff. And he's got it good prices, really fair, good prices. So I reclaims pretty much almost every night of the week, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, always new books night after night. And yeah, just swipe up, claim, build a stack them up for a couple weeks, cash out after that couple weeks, and get a nice big box of books coming your way. Um, I saw he was actually at Heroes Con this weekend as well, I believe. I saw him taking pictures with some other people that I follow, so he's putting himself out there. He's on Whatnot. He's got a website. He's got his Instagram account here. I saw in the group chat today he was really excited about the fact that he had at one point over 100 people in his Whatnot auction. So congratulations to him for, you know, succeeding on that platform as well. Whoa, buy 100, get 40%
I was
off.
gonna
Holy
say our man's
jeez,
got
he's
a
talking to me. What is going on? Buy
yeah, he
50,
did.
get 30% off? Oh no.
He may as well have just said Dr. Plagueis the sale right here for you. But
Yeah, I'm gonna go complete my All-Star Squadron run after the show's over.
I mean, again,
Um,
and from my understanding, majority of his books, I think we can click on just about any run here, and most of them are going to be about $5.
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So, I mean, if you're inclined to buy 100 of them, you're saving a big chunk of change,
yeah.
for sure.
Amen,
So
Derek. Amen. Yeah.
they really are the bulk deals are the key to Jacob's heart.
Oh man, yeah, fill a short box for, 60 bucks, whatever. Oh my gosh, I go crazy.
And
Yeah.
and he's also got 20% off all books. So if you're just looking to get a handful, you don't need to go the full 50 or the full 100. Save 20% just on anything. Buy a couple books, check them out.
Yeah.
So yeah, Imperial Comics on Instagram, on his website, lots of great stuff. Check
Yeah,
it out.
JSS, thank you too, by the way. I'll definitely be seeking you out.
Yeah, and thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate that, and chiming in. You know, we love seeing them. We love seeing the new folks chime in. So if you guys are new, let us know. Definitely don't be shy. Say hi. Uh, so I can't remember what we were talking about before I did that. Before we did the ad.
Well, I think we were just kind of getting out of the conversation of
Like algorithms, and then we're talking
yeah.
about the nominations
Mm.
and I guess we should probably talk. We've been talking a lot of comics. We're talking a little bit about the algorithm. I don't know if you saw. I don't know if there was anything. Did you want to touch on anything before I get into the next topic here?
I don't think so.
Okay. Uh, there was a new. So I'm a big fan of the SH Figure Arts line, and I know they're not for everybody. It's a little anime heavy, but they did announce something, and I don't know if you saw this. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
They're doing a Gamerverse line, and they announced one of their first figures from this line, and by
Really?
gosh golly, it looks sweet. We're getting Cyclops.
Ooh, I think I did see this. Holy
Yeah,
cow. Yeah. Dude.
this is a beautiful figure. Yeah, this is going to be coming
Now
out,
they
I
do
guess.
the Street Fighter figures.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, I did see this because a lot of people are really excited to do the Street Fighter versus X-Men pairings. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, that thing's sweet. And those Street Fighter figures, boy, I've been so close to jumping down that rabbit hole. As soon as the Vega hits stores, yeah, that last picture was awesome.
Oh, the big, yeah, the little,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, as soon as the Vega from Street Fighter hits stores, I'm probably going all in on the Street Fighter figures. My hope is that I never see it in person because if I don't, then I'm safe. But
Yeah.
yeah, those are sweet, man. I don't think the price point on those is too terrible. They're kind of like right up there with NECA, but I mean for the quality, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, so I know the ones I've purchased. I've purchased quite a few of them. I'll be honest with you guys.
And what line is it that you collect from that maker?
So I've got all of the Bleach ones that have come out,
Okay.
and then I've had to because I've given myself the opportunity to get all of the Bleach ones. I'm like, I can't go deep in any other line. Like I can't do the thing where it's like, I was like Funko. It was like, oh, I'll get one from that line, and then it's like, oh, I have 6 from that line or 20. Uh, No, so the other ones are all like single, like one figure from the line. So I've got one for Yu-Gi-Oh, which is the Dark Magician.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I've got the My Hero Academia one, which is the Deku. I've
Yep.
got the one from Dawn to Dawn, which is a newer anime, and then I've got the one from Naruto. So I've got quite a few of them. They range Canadian dollars about 80 to 120, depending on if it's a bigger one with like more like kind of stuff like the Dark Magician one has like a
Oh,
couple
that was
things and then like
sick.
a big base and
Yeah.
so that one, it was my more expensive one. I think was $120.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Um,
I've got yeah, one. I think two of the Bleach ones I have were like 110. So yeah, they can get a little pricey in Canada, uh, but the quality, like once you get your hands on them, if you're used to McFarlane and like Marvel Legends, you're like, oh, this is a big boy action figure, like
yeah.
these are the ones you can afford when you're an adult, like, and
Hmm.
not a kid. So uh they've got a ton of great Star Wars ones coming out.
Oh
uh
wow.
we talked about that. I think I showed you that General Grievous one quite a while ago.
Yeah.
uh
I remember that one.
yeah, that one's great. Oh, what else was there this weekend?
Should we show off our old buddy, old pal Funkos? Uh, that one you
Oh yeah,
sent me.
yeah.
It's not. It wasn't bad. It's pretty cool.
So yeah, we almost I don't think we've ever really talked about Funko for longer than like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But we both have passed with Funko. Uh, not so much in recent history. Uh, I think do you recall the last time you purchased a little Funko Pop?
Oh yeah. I still will pick up Star Wars ones.
Mm.
From time to time when they put out something good. So like last year they put out a handful of the Knights of the Old Republic, Sith Lords, like Darth Nihilus, and I think Darth Malgus. So I picked those up. But most recently they put out finally uh Starkiller.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, and so I picked that one up. So it's been a little while. They do so. A big reason why I stopped collecting those is because they're just like they'll put out so much of the same shit when they could be giving us new characters that they've never given us before. And so, for me, they just completely fell off. Other than the rare occasion that they'll put out a good Star Wars one, I really don't buy. If I still was collecting the Marvel ones, I'd totally get this one. But I'll give them a round of applause for this. It's pretty awesome.
I saw this pop up on my feed, and I immediately thought, "Ooh, they maybe almost got my wallet out right there."
Yeah.
Oh.
The next one's not bad either.
Oh yeah, the Onslaught one.
Yeah. Not
No,
terrible.
that's them. I think realizing they can't keep releasing Spider-Man over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And these characters, I mean, I've been reading a couple X-Men comics in the last little while here, actually starting to catch up, and like Dazzlers, I've been loving Dazzler recently, so I've been I'm slightly tempted to pick this up. However, I would love it if just Hasbro just did a Marvel Legends Dazzler and called it a day.
Yeah, I think there's a few out there, but they're not all great. That's for sure.
I like, that's one thing that Marvel Legends hasn't done that even McFarlane has dabbled in, is the gimmick stuff. I love the gimmick stuff. It's terrible, but I love it.
Sure.
If I have an option to get something that glows in the dark, I'm gonna get it glowing in the dark.
Oh yeah.
So McFarlane's done the glow in the dark. They've done their weird like accent colors. They've done their weird frostbite ones. They've done the
pink light,
patinas, the black light.
black light. Yeah.
They've done all these weird versions. They've even they've got their chase figures, right? Like
Right.
Marvel Legend doesn't have like alternate chase. So I'm just saying, if Marvel Legends wants to do something and shake up the game, give me the gimmicks and give me the chase figures.
Yeah, really, the most they do is like the Build-A-Figure stuff, which they're even doing less and less of that nowadays. So yeah.
And so and I don't think the quality of Marvel Legends stuff is going down. In recent years, it feels like it's going quite a ways up. So I would love to see them kind of, for lack of a better term, fuck around and find out, because they could make something really cool, especially with, like, again, if they did a Dazzler figure with like the sparkle diamond effect.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Dude, that would look so good. Like, that would photograph so well. Like, oh.
Yeah. Kind of like that Flash chase that broke.
Exploded on you.
He was like translucent with glitter. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even there was a chase for the Green Lantern Batman that was like the completely translucent green like Batman Green Lantern figure.
Yeah.
Again, kind of an ugly figure, but I appreciate that they did, this gimmicky version of it. For those who wanted it, and I do have it, so I'm not going to complain. But I don't know. I feel like Marvel Legends, I've been liking their stuff, but the SH Figuarts and these kind of like higher budget action figures has kind of been where I've been going lately. That and the model kits, but
Ozzy was asking who puts out the best articulated figures. I think is it Mezco that was making that did like that Spider-Man that I saw somebody pose that Spider-Man literally balancing on one arm upside down.
Was that I, was that the Maximum Spider-Man, like the new one
The
that came?
Maximum, yeah.
Yeah, the one
So who?
from Marvel Legends.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Well, that was the one that came out that everyone was like, "This is too expensive for Marvel Legends," but it has like crazy articulation.
Yeah, that's the
Uh,
one.
yeah, so that
And so
one's
they're doing more figures, right?
in the Maximum line.
Yeah.
Yes, they're doing the Hulk. We talked about the Hulk one a little while
Oh
ago.
yeah,
They're
that's a
doing,
good one.
yeah, with he has like a flexible chest, so you can actually like
Yes.
clap.
Yeah.
Um, I would say McFarlane is the brand that hurts the most when it comes to articulation. Some of their figures just like yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you get your hands on a McFarlane figure, you can kind of feel that it's
They're
like,
definitely hit and miss, I will
yeah.
say. I've had some where I've tried to pose them with some pretty, pretty intense articulation, and I've actually broken them, which is really disappointing. But like one that comes to mind is my Grifter.
Mm,
I posed him like I wanted him sitting, but
mm,
like I wanted him to really look like he was sitting, and his articulation on that figure in particular was really good. I was actually shocked that I was
so,
able to get him in that position and he would stay upright. Because so often you put them like in a sitting position and they're kind of like
mm,
still leaned back a little bit to where they won't stay in the
mm,
sitting position; they'll just fall. But
yeah.
he actually, sat upright, and I was like, wow, yeah. So
Um, yeah, those ones. I have the Grifter. I know mine. I don't mess around because my arm on my Grifter pops out really easily, so I don't really mess too much around. But that's like a
yeah,
classic McFarlane. And I should specify, I have a lot of McFarlane figures. Uh, I don't have those kind of problems on very many of them. I think Grifter might be the only one I can think of off the top of my head that's like, all right, put him in his pose and kind of just leave him there.
yeah,
Like if I try slightly moving, his arm's just going to pop out. But uh, yeah, I think the SH Figure Art stuff is really like some of their figures, crazy articulate. Actually, you know what? I gotta show
yeah.
this real quick. So yeah, the one from My Hero Academia here, little Deku, like
Oh my
crazy.
god,
That's
dude.
crazy art.
Yeah,
This man, this kid, he'll do the full. It's not not you'll get it. But
yeah.
then
Wow.
I have my Don figure here, and this man can't like they can't really see him here. He can't. There's no crunch at all on this guy. Like
Yeah,
there's nothing. Which is crazy.
yeah,
How does a company go from one extreme to the other? So
yeah,
it's hard to say which company has the best articulation. There's definitely some figures from certain lines that maybe do a little bit better. Like I don't know. It's really it depends on the character design, what weird limiting factors. But
yeah.
uh over the weekend, McFarlane also showed their official imagery for a couple more of their figures, which included the Superboy. Did you see that one?
I did. Yeah, I want that.
So it's interesting because I think I've talked about it a little bit. Like I missed out on a Superboy figure and it really bummed me out for a long time. And then I saw this and I was like, hell yeah, we get a new Superboy. I really want to like this figure. He looks fantastic. I I really wish he had a jacket. I
Yeah,
really wish he had the sunglasses.
I thought he
And
did. I think I'm not on the same page. Yeah,
yeah,
that's not. I'm not really with it.
so and the other thing is I have a lot of figures that use this particular body sculpt. I like this body sculpt, but it's really limited in articulation and like kind of what poses it can do. It's very much meant for like these flying slim slender boys because the legs just kind of like are, I don't know. I, I just have too many figures with his body. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, like I'm a little hesitant. But sure enough, over the last few weeks, it came to my attention that there's a Superboy figure from the company. Oh, where is it now? Uh, Medicom Toys. Uh, and they do this
Oh.
incredible Superboy.
Oh man.
Uh, so
Oh my God.
I am going to be picking up one of these eventually. It is a way higher price tag.
Oh
Uh, it is. He is going to be more in that kind of $100 mark,
my God. Holy crap.
but you're getting like a actual, like a much nicer quality jacket than the McFarlane stuff. He looks very nice. Posable's got a couple different heads. Uh, and I just really want a good Superboy. Like I really just want a really good Superboy. And
Yeah.
sorry, it's not Medicom. It's Mafex. This is a Mafex from Medicom.
Mafex. Yeah.
Yeah, Mafex. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Mafex puts out really quality stuff.
Yeah. So this is going to be one I'd recommend, and from my understanding, he scales pretty well with the other Supermen here. So
Oh, wow.
that's going to be a no-brainer for me.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
But I thought you might be. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you thought about that. That's McFarlane Superboy. But yeah, if you're looking for an alternative, I'd say that Mafex one's probably worth the buck.
Yeah.
Daniel Osborne, I was wondering for the purpose of drawing or creating superhero scenes, like was there initial
He
okay,
asked about the articulation. Yeah.
gotcha. You know what's really funny is I think a lot of actual comic book artists do this, like
Oh, yeah.
because there's one issue.
Ozzy's a really great illustrator too. He is always drawing something new when I go over to his house. We should feature some of his artwork one of these days.
Absolutely, and we definitely. If there's any artists we in our community, we should definitely highlight them.
Oh,
But I
well,
need.
actually, too, at the end of this conversation, we'll go ahead and share some of his gets from the basement because I sent those over too. He got some really good books.
This Spawn cover, I am like 100% sure this like the artist just pulled up the McFarlane like Spawn like
Yeah.
action, because this gun is like the exact same gun that comes with that figure.
Wow, that's sick.
It's actually really cool. So I have a feeling this was something
Reference. Yeah.
he would have posed the figure to kind of get that. And even like I'm pretty sure like the SH Figure Arts has a line of figures that are just plain models that are used for reference drawing.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
And I know they've got like ones that are specifically just hands, which are kind of weird, but for drawing hands and stuff. But Zim Man's taking off for the night.
Have a
See ya,
good night,
buddy.
Zim.
Thanks for stopping by. I think we've only got a few more minutes left here as well for the show.
Yeah.
All the anime figures are required to have enough articulation to do a Naruto run. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially this dude. The Don figure is probably like I wasn't going to get it because of the articulation, but I love the figure and the character and the story so much that I had to. But
Yeah.
his like iconic pose from the manga and the show, he can't do like the
Oh my
figure
God.
can't do the iconic like hunched over like menacing, like it's crazy.
Oh,
Dude.
that's so weird.
And so I've seen people modding it and stuff, but I'm like, I don't trust myself with a Dremel and stuff. I'll
Yeah.
mess up. So, Wicked Witch of PNW, we have that Scorched cover. It's
Oh, nice. Very
Dude,
nice.
Scorched is 41 issues in, by the way.
I know. I'm thinking I'm gonna end Gunslinger at 50 if things don't get better.
Yeah, there's
Because I think Gunslinger is right about there as well, and I feel like I'm just throwing away money at this point. So, as much of big thing I made out of it when I first got into it, and I hunted down all the issues that I didn't have. I think that saga for me is coming to a coming to an end.
Well,
Hate to say it.
I haven't even started Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger yet. I haven't even opened issue 1, and I know I'm like I've got at least 5 or 6, 7 issues behind on regular Gunslinger, but
Yeah.
yeah, I know I'm gonna have to start slimming down on the pickings. They're just so cheap in comparison to the other
It's
books.
true. Yeah,
It's like
it's not necessarily hurting the wallet. It's just like, what am I,
how
what
invested
am
am I going
I?
to get into this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Next thing you know, you'll be 100 issues in, and you'll be like, "There's still nothing's happened."
yeah. Yeah.
All right, man. Anything else you wanted to touch on before we wrap her up here tonight?
No, I just wanted to again show off some of Ozzy's gets from the basement. Of course, we went down there together. I can't go down there without my hunting buddy Daniel Osborne, who's in the chat. So yeah, he got Forever People #1 there, and I think that's Mr. Miracle #5 or 6.
Number
Couple of
5,
really
yeah.
great, yeah, some great stuff there. Yeah. So right here we have
It's a number
I
1,
think,
ain't it?
yeah. So that's his first ongoing series. But then the one next to it is his first appearance in the Silver Age, Phantom
Oh.
Stranger. So
Yeah.
couple of really great books there as well. Some classic Black Suit Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Some
Yeah.
original Ninja Turtles. Yep, he's finally jumping into that after
Mhm.
quite a long time of trying to influence him. This was a really cool book here. Quack #1. We got some Howard the Duck. I think that's Bruner on the artwork, which
Mm.
he just does amazing work. I love his work. So yeah. Some Dave Stevens Rocketeer here.
Nice. And then, of course,
yeah, some Predator. We found 4 first printings of issue #1, which was just crazy. It's funny because we were in this room going through boxes, and I just looked, the little handle in a short box, the little hole. Through the hole, I saw the cover, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's a Predator #1!" And then he like pulls one out, and I'm like, "There's still another one in there." And he pulls it out, and I'm like, "There's still another one." He pulls it out, like 4 copies of that, just chilling. I highlighted that in my reel, of course, because it's just like it's crazy what's down there. I wanted to highlight some of his gets because he kind of got some more key significant books, which just gives you just the littlest taste of what's down there. Now, like when I tell you we have not even scratched the surface, like that is the biggest understatement of all time. Like we have not even this is nothing. This is just one little section of it, dude. Like this doesn't there's this what you see here times like 10. This is truly not even like a good taste of what's down there. It's absolutely insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's bonkers.
I wish that everybody could experience this. I've had a lot of people reach out, and it's not really my place to invite anybody. Like I said, I've even had one person kind of like throw shots. What did I said that I don't know what I said, unique opportunity or whatever. And he said more like something like it's more like a private shopping spree. I actually know this person on a personal level, and yeah. Oh, I called it hunting, right? Because I'm hunting for comics, and he said it's not more of a personal shopping. Look, the books don't find themselves, and moving moving around these boxes, like I said, to find that Batman, I
Mm.
kind of went on quite a journey to get to the box that book was in. I'm really grateful that I've had this opportunity. Not everybody gets it, and if I can, if I can get more people down there, I will. I truly believe one day, at least locally, everybody will have a shot at some of this stuff in one way or another. That's my goal. By no means do I want to hog all of this to myself. I want to get this out beyond my hometown. I'm gonna try to get Dave down there, because I just think that would be a awesome experience for him. And I've been wanting to get him. Dave doesn't live far from me. He's only a few hours from me. So I've wanted to get him over here for some time now, and I think that with my reel and what I've pulled, I think I've finally accomplished that.
There you go.
But yeah, just what an experience. I'm really lucky to have had it. And yeah, I mean that's about it. Last week was an amazing week for comics for me. One I'll never forget for sure.
And I should also remind folks, next week we are taking the week off. It is Canada Day, and I'm moving the same day. So next Tuesday, I'll be unpacking boxes, and then hopefully the following Tuesday we should be back up and running, no problems, provided I can get an internet provider. That stuff ain't cheap here; way too expensive. But anyways,
I'll probably look to put out some form of content on the channel, whether it's a short or two. I've kind of fallen behind on making those, so maybe I'll make up a couple, or maybe I'll make a horizontal version of one of my hunts. I don't know. I'll figure something out.
I was gonna say too, like if we plan something, we coordinate it, we could definitely, like, I can always pre-recording stuff is significantly easier than live streaming stuff on the old internet provider here. So anyways, we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll throw something, a little surprise video up next week for you guys. So thank you guys. Make sure you subscribe and tune in a couple weeks, 6:30 Tuesday. Watch it. Maybe just watch this one again next week. Pick a random video and watch it again and enjoy that magic. All right, guys. Thank you, my friend, for joining us. And all right, everyone, have a great rest of your week. Bye.
See you guys.
See ya.